Greetings, precious ones of the Most High. Hope all is well. So listen, let's do a recap. This past weekend, we talked about how Joseph had been gifted and was favored of God, and how God was revealing to him his destiny through dreams. But Joseph was running off at the mouth and sharing all his dreams to his brothers, and of course they were jealous. And I revealed to you all how we must be careful of who we share our dreams with, because they will be sabotaged, or they will try to sabotage our dreams. So you know that they tossed Joseph in the pit, and then they ended up selling him to Egypt, and then Joseph ended up going to prison. And while in prison, I want to share with you this morning what happens if the enemy does take your dreams and try to sabotage it. Let's see how God can take what the enemy tries to do and make it for good. So listen, while Joseph was in prison, there were two men that were in there. That was the Pharaoh's butler and the Pharaoh's baker. And they both had dreams that were troubling to them, but Joseph was able to interpret the dreams. They promised Joseph that they will reveal to Pharaoh that he had interpreted their dreams. But once they got out, they forgot. And it was a couple of years that went past before they remembered. And that was only because Pharaoh had a dream and it bothered him. So eventually they told Pharaoh that Joseph knew how to interpret dreams. Joseph did interpret Pharaoh's dreams. As a result, it saved Egypt. And so what I want to say is, sometimes we mess up. And because we mess up doesn't mean that God still doesn't love us. Doesn't mean God still doesn't favor us. We're his children. And he may chasten us on things that we do, and but we're still his. I can chasten my kids, but you can't touch them. You know how that is. You can do what you do with your children, but nobody else better not put a hand on them, right? And that's the same way it is with the Lord when it comes to Satan and his cohorts. So listen, whenever the devil comes after you, best to know that what he does, God meant it for good. There's something good that's going to come out of it, especially if it's circumstances beyond your control. It's God. So God is saying on this day, on this new week, to trust him in all things. If you blow it, if you didn't blow it. But when the enemy comes after what God has given you, trust God that he's going to turn it. For what he meant for bad, God is going to turn it to good. Thank you, Jesus. Your footsteps are ordered by the Lord.